Two versions of you sit in two different rooms tonight at this very moment. Both versions are the exact same age in their lives today. Both versions started with the same paycheck from the same first job, the same family of origin and background, the same phone in their pockets daily. The same Friday at 22 years old when the first real decision was made about how to live their lives going forward into adulthood from this moment. One version chose loud as his path forward in life going into adulthood. He spent the money fast in the early years of his career and life. He posted the receipts publicly online for everyone in his life to see. He filled the rooms in his life with things that people could see from outside. The other version chose quiet as his path forward in life going into adulthood. He kept the money in his accounts where it could grow over time slowly. He posted nothing at all to anyone in his life online or in person. He filled the rooms with things only he himself could see in his private life. For the first 5 years of the journey ahead in their lives, the loud version looks like he is winning the race compared to the other version. The cars are nicer in his life with brand new BMW and luxury vehicle features. The trips are louder with photo-perfect destinations all over social media each week. The photographs are better and more curated than the other version of you. The quiet version looks like he is missing his own life completely from outside. 20 years later on a Friday night at 9 o'clock in the evening today, the two versions are sitting in two very different rooms in their lives now. One of them is free in his life going forward into the future ahead. The other one is paying the interest on a decade he cannot ever get back. It is Friday in the calendar week now today. It is 9 in the evening right now. You have just received your first real paycheck in your life, $2,480 in total amount after tax deductions. The first time a number that big has belonged to your name only ever. The loud version of you is at the rooftop bar 3 blocks from the office. He is wearing the new shirt he bought on his lunch break today. The shirt cost him $94 total from a store earlier today during the day. He is buying drinks for 2 coworkers he does not know well yet. Because being the man who picks up the round is the kind of identity that feels like a shortcut to becoming someone important in the eyes of others. He posts a photograph of the city skyline at sunset on his phone. The caption underneath the photograph says simply Friday earned for everyone to read. He has 6 new likes already by the time he finishes the second drink. He spends $220 total at the bar that evening night. He spends another $40 in the rideshare home back to his apartment. He goes to bed at 1 in the morning feeling like a man who arrived at something important in his life going forward in his journey. He has not actually arrived at anything meaningful at all in any real sense yet. He has spent 10% of his first paycheck in just 4 short hours. He will not remember the feeling next week because the feeling did not come from the money at all in any real way that matters to his future. The feeling came from the audience watching him on social media that evening night. The quiet version of you is at his kitchen table at home in his apartment. He has just transferred 15% of the paycheck into a savings account. He opened the savings account just earlier today during his lunch break at work. He has transferred another 10% into a brokerage account he set up the night before he made this transfer this evening after dinner at home alone. After spending 3 hours reading about index funds on his laptop computer, he is eating a simple sandwich he made for himself at home tonight on his break. He is reading a book about compounding interest in finance and investing. He is 37 minutes away from sleep tonight from his evening completion. He posts nothing at all online or anywhere to anyone in his social network. He tells absolutely nobody at all in his life about what he just did tonight. The quiet of the apartment is for the first time in his adult life a thing that he is choosing rather than enduring as a state of his life. He has on this Friday tonight planted a seed that nobody is watching grow, including him in any way at all during this moment in his life right now. The seed is small enough to be invisible to the human eye actually. The seed is also the entire future of his life going forward into the years. He does not know this important fact yet at all in this moment. He will know this important truth on a Friday 20 years from tonight in his life, when he sits in a peaceful kitchen at age 42 with his wife. You both got promoted this year at work in your careers going forward today, $12,000 more in annual salary now coming into your accounts. After tax deductions you both have an extra $600 per month. Both versions of you stand at the same fork in the road right now today. The loud version uses the raise to upgrade the apartment he lives in. The new place has an extra bedroom that he does not need or use ever. A balcony that he will never actually sit on in his daily life going forward. And a rent that consumes the entire raise plus $200 extra. From the pre-existing budget he had before the upgrade in his accounts, he furnishes the new apartment with things he saw on Instagram social media. He buys a coffee table that costs $800 from a store online. He invites 3 friends over to see the new apartment and the coffee table. The friends say the apartment and table both look great visually to them. He posts a photograph of the apartment at sunset for everyone to see online. New chapter. The caption says underneath the photograph for all his followers to see. He has 52 likes total on the post by the very next morning. He has not noticed yet at this point in his life going forward in time that the raise has been absorbed entirely by the new lifestyle he chose to live. He has not noticed because the math is happening at a frequency below his attention. The deposits are small in his daily life, and the withdrawals are also small. The compounding effect of the lifestyle inflation will not be visible for 3 years yet. By the time he sees the effect, the lifestyle will have become the floor. And the floor of the lifestyle will be impossible to lower without admitting something out loud to other people in your life and your social circle around you. The quiet version does nothing visible at all in his life with the raise he received. He stays in the exact same apartment he had before the promotion at work. He eats the same way he has been eating for the past 3 years now. He drives the same car he had before the promotion at work just like before. The entire raise minus the additional taxes goes directly into the brokerage account. The account has now been growing for 3 full years in his life. The number in the brokerage account is $26,000 now today total. The number does not impress anyone at all in his life or social circle. He shows the brokerage account to absolutely nobody at all in his life or social circle. He has begun to notice something important, however, in his accounts. The number in the account has started to grow on its own in a way that has nothing to do with his paychecks coming in from his job each month. The dividends are reinvesting themselves automatically in the account at all times now. The market has done what markets do over time in their natural cycles. The first dollar he ever invested has multiplied into many more dollars since then. The math has finally begun to compound on its own, without active input. The compounding is silent in its mathematical nature without any noise at all. The compounding does not announce itself to anyone watching from outside the account. The compounding is the quiet engine that he has been quietly building over years. And the engine has, on this year, finally started running on its very own. It is Friday in March in the calendar week now today at this moment. Both versions of you are 6 years into adulthood and your careers going forward. The lives are starting to look different in ways that are visible from the outside. The loud version is closing on a house tonight at this very moment in time. The house is 4,200 square feet in total size with multiple bedrooms inside. The mortgage is the largest financial obligation he has ever signed his name to. He went out earlier this week and bought a leased BMW from the dealership in town, because the dealership offered him a deal that he could not say no to. He posts about the new house on social media for everyone to see online. He posts about the new car for all his followers to see his lifestyle. The captions underneath the posts are confident in their tone of voice and language. Hard work pays, the caption says, and built different, the caption also says. The likes are in the hundreds now on each of his posts about the lifestyle. He has built an audience of people who have never met him in real life, who scroll past his life on their phones and conclude accurately that he is winning. He is not actually winning at all in any real meaningful way today. He is performing winning instead of actually winning at this point in his life, and the performance has begun to require maintenance from him every single day now. The mortgage is the maintenance of the performance he is putting on for his audience. The car payment is the maintenance of the performance he is putting on for everyone. The lifestyle the audience has come to expect from him daily is also the maintenance. The energy he used to have for building has been redirected entirely now into sustaining the appearance of having built something instead of actually building anything. He does not see this important truth yet in his life going forward today. The dopamine is still coming in steadily from social media likes and comments daily. The quiet version is sitting on his couch reading a book at home tonight. He has not bought a house for himself in this stage of his life journey yet. He still rents the same apartment that he had from age 25 before now. His brokerage account has grown to $98,000 in total value now. He has another $22,000 in a high-yield savings account separately. He has zero debt in his life at all from any source whatsoever today. He has not posted anything online or anywhere in 4 full years of his life. His Instagram account is dormant and inactive at this point in his life now. He is not on any platform that requires him to perform for an audience. He has started this year to think about purchasing a small rental property in town. Not the dream house at all in any way that the Loud version chose. A small 2-bedroom unit in a working-class neighborhood in the city he lives in, that will cash flow from day one of ownership when he purchases the property. He has been studying the local property market for 18 full months now today. He has spoken to 3 different accountants about the tax implications of ownership. He is 6 weeks away from making the official offer on the small rental property. He will make the offer quietly without telling anyone in his life beforehand. He will not post about the new property at all on any social media platform. The first property will become the second property within just 2 short years. And the second property will become the third one in just 3 more years. And by the time the Loud version finally notices what has been happening quietly, the quiet version will own the building that the Loud version is renting his Airbnb in, on a weekend trip somewhere in the future of their lives going forward. This is the year that the gap stops being subtle between the 2 versions of you. You can see the gap from across a room now in their lives clearly. The Loud version has just had his second child born to him this year. The big house is suddenly very tight in space with all the family members inside. The 2 BMWs in the driveway are suddenly inadequate for the family needs, because both parents need a car and the children need a third row in the back. He upgrades to a brand new SUV from a dealership for the family transportation needs. The new SUV is leased from the dealership on a multi-year lease agreement. The lease payment on the SUV is more than he earned in a month at his first job. After college, when he was 22 years old, just starting his career, he has stopped posting on social media as often as he used to in earlier years. The posts that do come up have a slightly different tone than the early posts. They are more curated now in their composition than the early posts that came earlier. They are more careful in the captions used and the photographs chosen for posting. He is starting without saying it out loud to feel the weight of an audience that expects continuous winning from a life that has begun to slow down quietly. His mortgage payment has gone up this year because the property tax went up. His insurance has gone up too, because the children added a new line item to it. His credit cards have a balance on them for the first time in years now, because the kitchen renovation ran over budget by $12,000 extra total. And he had to put the overage somewhere in his accounts immediately or face penalties. He looks fine from the outside to anyone watching him in his daily life. From the inside of his life, the math is starting to feel like a wall, pressing slowly inward on him from all sides, crushing him in his own home now. The quiet version is also a father this year for the first time at this age. His first child was born in February of this year in the calendar early on. He still lives in a modest house that he owns at this point in his life, the second house he has ever owned in his life, paid for with equity from selling first. The mortgage on the modest house is small compared to his monthly income today. The cars in the driveway are all paid off fully with no payments owed at all. The brokerage account has now crossed $300,000 in total value today. The 2 rental properties he owns are now worth combined about $600,000 in property value combined together as a portfolio asset class for him, and producing combined cash flow of $1,800 per month after all expenses. He spends a lot of time at home this year with his family and child. He works from a small office in the second bedroom of his modest house every day. He is present for the bedtime routine of his child every single evening he can be. He is also present for the morning routine before he starts his work for day. The work he did in his 20s is paying for the time he is taking in his 30s. The investment in quiet is for the first time paying its dividend to him now, in the form of presence with his family and his daily life going forward today. The presence is not visible to anyone outside the house at all in any way. It is the most visible thing inside it at all, in every way that matters today. You can feel the presence the moment you walk into the small modest house. It happens on a Tuesday in October during the work week at the office. Both versions of you have a moment of recognition this year in your lives now. And the moments of recognition could not be more different from each other today. The Loud version is sitting at his desk in the office during the workday. He has just received a project assignment that he does not have energy to do. He has been working at the same firm for 9 years now in his career path. The salary is now substantial on paper compared to what he started with at first. The salary is also entirely committed before it arrives in his bank account each month. The mortgage payment is committed first thing before anything else can be paid for. The lease on the SUV is also committed every single month coming forward. The lease on the second car is also committed every single month going forward. The kitchen loan from the renovation is committed every single month for years now. The vacation he booked because the family had not been on a real one in 2 years, and the kids were starting to ask questions about why they never travel anymore. The private school tuition for the older child also committed every month from now on, because the public school in the neighborhood the house was in turned out lower rated than the original house listing had suggested when he was looking to buy the house. He calculates on this Tuesday afternoon in October what his actual freedom number is. He defines freedom as the amount in liquid savings he could use to walk away from his job tomorrow without changing anything about his current lifestyle going forward. The number after doing the math comes out to negative $17,000 total today. He has spent 9 years building a beautiful life that requires him to remain employed at his current salary forever in his life going forward into the future ahead. There is no exit from the situation he has built around himself in his life, and there is no off-ramp from the highway he is driving on in his life going forward. There is only the next paycheck, and the one after, and the one after that one, until the children are eventually grown adults, and the cars are eventually paid off, and the house is finally his somewhere in his 60s decades from now today. He closes the laptop on his desk after doing the painful math calculation today. He goes home to his big house with the family waiting for him to arrive. He does not mention the math calculation to his wife when he gets home tonight. He starts the project assigned to him at work the very next morning instead. The quiet version is also at his desk on this same Tuesday in October today. He has just calculated his own freedom number using the same definition as the loud. The number after doing the math is positive in the result of his calculation. The number is positive enough that if he chose to, he could leave his job today, never work another single day in his life going forward into the future ahead, and his current lifestyle would continue to be funded by the structure he built quietly since he was 22 years old all the way until now today at age 35. The brokerage account from his early years still growing from compounding. The retirement accounts he set up many years ago that have been growing too. The 4 rental properties he now owns generating cash flow into his accounts. The small online business he started at 31 as a side project initially in his life, that has grown into a real income stream for him over the past 4 years. All of them combined together have crossed the line that allows him to choose freely. He does not leave the job at all in any way despite having full freedom now. He likes the job he has at this point in his life going forward today. He likes the job because he no longer actually needs the job in any way. And the absence of need has completely changed the texture of every Monday morning. He works because the work is meaningful to him, not because the work is mandatory. The meaningful version of the work is he has discovered a completely different experience than the mandatory version of the same activity wearing 2 different costumes. He had not realized before this year that they were both actually the same activity, wearing 2 completely different costumes from the same wardrobe of work he does. It is Friday in the calendar week today at this very moment in time. It is 9 in the evening right now. Both versions of you are home tonight. The loud version is in the home office of his big house doing work tonight that he should have finished 3 days ago, but has been falling behind on. He has had to bring the work home from the office because the firm cut staff, the support staff that used to handle the spillover work for the team in office. And the spillover has become his job in addition to the original job he had. He is on his 3rd cup of coffee tonight to stay awake and finish the work. His wife is downstairs watching a show alone in the living room of the house because she has stopped expecting him to come down from the office and join her. Because the pattern has been established for many months and years now in their relationship. And the pattern is that Friday nights belong to the work that the lifestyle requires him to do tonight and every night going forward into the future ahead in his life. He has $47,000 in credit card debt at this point in his life. He has begun to refinance the big house to consolidate the credit card debt into one. The refinance will lower the monthly mortgage payment in exchange for adding 7 years to the total length of the mortgage going forward in his life from this point on. He will be paying for the big house until he is 65 years old now. He has not told his wife the full picture of the financial situation they are in. He tells himself he will tell her after the bonus comes in March from the company. He has been telling himself this same thing every single March now for 3 full years. The quiet version is sitting on his back porch in his small modest house tonight. It is a small porch attached to a small house in a working-class neighborhood quietly, in a neighborhood that nobody would identify as wealthy from outside looking in at all. He is reading a book quietly on the porch in the evening hours tonight. His wife is sitting beside him on the porch also reading her own book quietly. The children are asleep upstairs in their bedrooms peacefully in the small modest house. The small house is paid off in full, with no mortgage payments owed at all today. The cars in the driveway are also paid off in full with no payments at all. The bank accounts are full of healthy balances accumulated over the years of his life. The rental properties he owns are managed by a property manager who handles everything, for a small percentage of the rental income paid out from each property monthly. The small online business he started years ago runs without his daily involvement now. The structure he built over many years is humming along on its own efficiently. He does not work tomorrow morning or any time tomorrow on a Saturday at all. He has not worked on a Saturday in 9 full years of his adult life. He will read in the morning when he wakes up tomorrow morning peacefully at home. He will spend the afternoon with his children doing things together as a family. He will cook a slow dinner with his wife in the small modest kitchen tomorrow evening. The quiet of the porch tonight is the quiet of a life deliberately constructed. Decision by decision in his life since he was 22 years old at the very start. The construction was invisible to anyone watching from outside at every single stage. The construction is on this Friday night at 9 in the evening at this moment, the most visible thing in the entire room of the small modest house tonight. It is 20 years from the first Friday at age 22 in your life. Both versions of you are still alive at this point in your lives going forward. Both versions of you are sitting somewhere on a Friday at 9 in the evening. The rooms that you both occupy are very different from each other in this moment. The loud version is in his kitchen at this moment of the Friday evening today. He is 42 years old in his life at this point in time now. He is calculating again whether the family budget can absorb the new boiler that broke, that he found out about earlier this morning from the heating contractor he called. The big house is now 15 years old and showing signs of age in many places. And 15-year-old houses begin to fail in expensive ways with multiple costly repairs. He has sold the BMW from years ago to save money on the monthly payments. The SUV is still leased on its third turnover with the dealership for the family. The Instagram account is mostly silent now at this point in his life going forward. The audience has moved on to younger people who can still perform the lifestyle convincingly at this current stage of social media and current trends in the world today. He has begun to feel like a man whose costume no longer fits him properly, but who cannot afford to take the costume off his body at all in his life, because the costume is the only thing holding the appearance of the life together. He looks back at the version of himself at 22 years old in his past, with a feeling inside his chest that he cannot quite name to himself today. Not quite regret in its purest form as an emotion at this moment in his life. Not quite anger either at himself or anyone else in his life or surroundings. A quieter version of both of those emotions blended together inside of his own chest. He thinks on this Friday tonight about the version of himself who chose the apartment over the big house at 28 in the past years long ago, who chose the index fund over the bar tab on the very first Friday night at 22. He wonders if that version of himself is still alive somewhere in some parallel kitchen, on some parallel Friday at 9 in the evening in another life dimension somewhere. He wonders specifically about what that man is doing tonight at this very moment. The quiet version is in his kitchen at this moment of the Friday evening today. He is also 42 years old at this point in his life going forward today. He is simply making tea quietly in the small modest kitchen of his peaceful house. The kettle is whistling on the stovetop in the kitchen at this moment tonight. His wife walks into the kitchen and places a hand on his back warmly. She takes a tea mug down from the cabinet in the kitchen for herself to use. They do not speak any words to each other in the kitchen at this moment. The silence between them in the kitchen is not empty in any way today at all. The silence is the kind of silence that two people share when neither of them has anything left to fix between them tonight at this moment in their lives together. And neither of them has anything left to prove to each other tonight at all. And neither of them is being chased by anything that requires more than tea tonight, on a Friday at 9 in the evening at this moment in their peaceful lives. He has retired this year at age 42 from his former job at the firm completely. Not because he had to do so for any financial reason in his life today, because he could afford to do so completely in his life without any financial concerns. The structure he built between the ages of 22 and 35 years old now produces more income monthly than he and his wife together actually spend in their lives. He spends his days now writing in his own personal time freely without any pressure. He has been writing for 18 full months now on a single book he is working on. The book is almost finished now at this point in time today in his life. The book will not be a bestseller at all in any way once it is finished. The book is for him personally, and not for anyone else in the wider world. He has the time to actually write the book because the time is finally his to spend, as he chooses freely in his life going forward into the future ahead now. The quiet of the kitchen on this Friday is the dividend that compounding paid out, 20 years late on a single decision he made on a Friday at 22. When nobody at all was watching him in his life or social circle going forward, he made a quiet choice that would eventually grow into the kitchen tonight at age 42. The two versions of you are not predetermined at all in any way today. The two versions of you are made on the small Fridays nobody films or records. 22 is the year that the soundtrack of your life starts to play forward. The choices you make this year are the notes that play for the next 20 years. The loud version of you is louder for the first decade of your adult life. The quiet version of you is louder for the entire rest of your life going forward. If you are still in your 20s today at this point in your life going forward, you are still standing at the fork in the road right now today in your life. The path ahead is shorter than you think at this point in your life today. The compounding is longer in time than you can possibly imagine in your mind right now. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one on the quiet wealth journey. The next chapter is about how to start the quiet path going forward in life. Even if you are already 5 years into the loud one in your young adult life today, and worried that you may have missed your window of opportunity to switch paths.